Okay, folks, we are back. Episode 31 of Street to Strategy. Wow, man. I wanted to say that last week's episode did very well. Very emotional episode. Also, I know everyone's seen the commercial, so if anybody wants to do a commercial on the pod, reach out to me. Let's link up, and I'll shoot a commercial for you, and we can put it on the podcast. We had something that recently happened, and I need to give this person a dedication. Corporal Brian Haney from Tulare PD recently passed away, a titan of law enforcement in this area. And this is what I wrote. In Tulare, the career of Brian Haney reflected both the visible demands of policing and the deeper, often unseen weight carried by those who serve. During his time as a corporal with the Tulare Police Department, he was involved in 2 critical officer-involved shootings within a span of less than a month. But those moments, intense, scrutinized, and often reduced to headlines, tell only a fraction of who Brian was. Long before and well beyond those incidents, Brian had built a career rooted in service, discipline, and a relentless pursuit of the truth. He began in 1989 with the Tulare County Sheriff's Department, working assignments in custody, transportation, and court security. In 1992, he joined the Tulare Police Department, where he would grow into the roles that demanded not only skill, but trust. Patrol officer, field training officer, SWAT team member, and ultimately a respected investigator. It was in investigations that Brian's legacy truly took shape. He carried the burden of the most difficult cases: homicides, violent crimes, sexual assaults, and crimes against children, never losing sight of the human lives behind each report. He understood that every case file represented a family searching for answers, and he pursued those answers with patience, precision, and resolve. Whether working complex financial crimes, computer forensics, or reviewing officer-involved shootings, he became known as a steady, credible voice in moments that demanded clarity and integrity. Beyond enforcement, Brian was an educator and a guardian in another sense. He reached more than 7,000 students and adults, teaching internet safety and helping others navigate an increasingly complex digital world. His influence extended far beyond the cases he worked. It lived in everyday safety of the community he served. Even after years on the job, his mission never wavered. He believed that no case should be forgotten, that sometimes all it takes is a fresh perspective to uncover the truth. For Brian, closure wasn't optional. It was a responsibility owed to the victims and the families. In his later years, he continued to serve in a different capacity as a facilities manager at the International Agri Center, remaining a quiet pillar of reliability and commitment. Brian was more than the sum of critical incidents or accommodations. He was a man who stood in difficult places so others wouldn't have to, a seeker of truth, a protector of the vulnerable, and a steady presence in a profession that demanded both strength and heart. Rest easy, sheepdog. Your watch has ended, but the difference you made will endure. God bless his memory, and may he watch over Brian's family. Okay, folks, I have a new guest. Let me give him an intro. Some lives follow a straight line. Others are shaped by hardship, resilience, and the quiet determination to rise anyway. Today's guest is a man whose story carries all of that and more. He was born in Porterville, California, and raised in the close-knit community of Terra Bella. From the outside, life seemed simple, even good, but behind the scenes, his family faced real struggle. With his father becoming disabled at a young age, he grew up understanding responsibility early, watching his family navigate life on a fixed income with strength and humility. But woven into that struggle was something powerful: music. On his father's side, music wasn't just a pastime, it was a legacy. Surrounded by mariachi and band of musicians, he picked up his first instrument at just 9 years old. That passion didn't stay local. It carried him across the world, performing on stages many only dream of, including the Houston Astrodome during the Houston Rodeo. Eventually, he made the decision to step off the road and into a new calling. Corrections. He entered corrections during a transitional time, joining one of the first shortened academy classes. But even in those seasons of growth, life tested him. During the final months of the academy, he endured the devastating loss of his cousin to suicide, an experience that would shape his perspective and resilience moving forward. He spent his entire career serving at the substance abuse treatment facility in Corcoran, where the job demanded vigilance, strength, and trust in those beside you. He faced intense moments, including violent incidents and personal assaults, but also found brotherhood, crediting the many partners who stood alongside him through it all. After medically retiring, following multiple surgeries that left his right hand with limited strength and mobility, he once again reinvented himself through faith, grit, and determination. He stepped into the world of real estate, where he continued to serve others with the same integrity, work ethic, and heart that defined his career. From music stages to prison tears, from personal loss to professional reinvention, his story is one of perseverance, purpose, and the undeniable power of never giving up. His journey has brought him to my table. This is Gustavo Gus Rodriguez. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for the invite, Jay. Appreciate it.
Man, dude. You had a lot. You had a lot going on, brother.
You just gave me the chills hearing that. Not gonna lie.
Let's start. What's one word that describes your childhood and why?
Man, I don't know if I can describe it with one word.
Well, give me a few.
I would probably say interesting.
Yeah. Well, plus, man, Terabella, and I've worked gang task force where we would go through there. That little town, a lot going on.
Active,
busy. Yeah. A lot of drogas, a lot of gangas. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
And what was life like growing up in Terabella?
It was actually nice. The kids we were always outside playing.
Yeah.
We all knew each other. Small town, so it was pretty nice. I mean, we couldn't complain.
Yeah. You know what? It's kind of funny, man. You know, I grew up in Tulare, but we didn't have anything back then. But man, dude, the magical times, brother. Magical, man.
We can distract ourselves or entertain ourselves with the smallest thing.
Big time. As a kid, did you feel like life was good, or did you sense the struggles at home?
I would say I felt life was good. I mean, even though...
What type of work did your old man do?
My dad was a manager at JCPenney's there in Porterville.
Okay. All right. Respectable gig.
Back then, before it was closed and burned down.
Okay. When did you first realize your family was going through financial hardship?
My dad had multiple surgeries on his left knee. And
how did he get injured? I forgot to ask that.
He was walking down the stairs carrying some boxes. And I guess a little kid urinated on the floor. Yeah, and he slipped. And when he did that, there goes his left knee.
Wow. Freak accident then, man. Yeah. How did your father's disability shape you as a young boy?
It taught me to be independent.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because with a fixed income with disability back then, and still to this day, he's still collecting that check, but it's not much.
Yeah. What'd your mom do?
My mom, she did several jobs when I was growing up. She worked as a housekeeper at Motel 6. And then she started her own house cleaning business up until she kind of got a little ill and then stopped working.
Are mom and dad still together?
Mom and dad are still together. Thanks be to God.
I did. That's, how long they been together?
Wow. I'm going to be 45 this year, so 46
Oh,
years.
good. Yeah. See, you know what? Something about that generation, man. When they marry for life, and
Through thick and
I was
thin.
gonna say, and I think we've lost that as a society. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, shoot, dude, my old man was married 9 times, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh, what did you learn from watching your parents navigate that season? Him being injured, having to deal with money issues. Because I had almost had to. My mom was on welfare, bro. So we were I was ghetto fab, bro. But so
It I guess nowadays, Jay, I see it where we were very limited. I mean,
yeah,
I remember I used to have the cheapest shoes. I mean, we'd go to Kmart and buy those Velcro strap shoes that would rip in about a week and a half or two, and I'd get in trouble for it. So
plus, man, just having to wear those to school, man. Kids are brutal.
oh
man.
my gosh,
Those are Kmart shoes.
yeah,
man.
you Kmart shopper. Hey, but you know what? That's what we had, and that's what they could afford. That's what they can
But
provide.
the big deal, man. Hey, man, think about this. At least you had a roof over your head, food in your belly, clothes on your back, man. There's something about the Hispanic community that I've always respected in this. Tight-knit families, and they take care of each other. Man, I didn't have that, bro. And man, I was only raised by my mom. My dad was out, getting married again all the time. And, I mean, he had one wife for like 25 years, but so that's one thing about, man, I went to 100,000 calls for service, and most of those were in Hispanic homes. If I say we're 60% Hispanic, bro, and I think Porterville's got to be even more than that, probably. But so I got to go in a lot of those homes. I respect that about the Hispanic community, very much so, because they look out for each other.
Well, and I can imagine because if you were called out to a Hispanic home back then, even though if mom and dad were at each other's throats, they were going to say everything was fine.
Oh yeah, big time. You know what? It was. This, man. We spent 90% of our time, going to the same 10% of the homes, right? So it's always the frequent flyers, right? But you really realize that is something. And, my wife is Hispanic, and I will tell you something, man. The thing about her is, and I had to get used to this, bro. She brought me into a large Hispanic family.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So guess what? Hey, Easter, Christmas, all that
All the
stuff, we're all
holidays,
together,
yeah.
right? And at first, man, I wasn't used to that, bro. And, man, and I had, there's times, man, she'd be like, hey, dude.
Was it difficult for you to adjust?
It for a little bit, it was. Because I was just used to just being me and my kid. And, so now I'm stepping into a house with 25 people. But then again, man, I was blessed with something a lot of cops don't have, man. It's called a personality, bro.
Jay, for as long as I've known you, you've always had a great personality,
Yeah.
and you can make conversation with the wall.
Well,
so.
yeah. But you know what? I'm very humbled by the fact that these people, they show me nothing but love, bro. And it's a blessing. It truly is.
What's the way you carry yourself?
Correct. Here's a good one. Who had the biggest influence on you growing up?
Wow. I can honestly say I had quite a bit of people that influenced me growing up. But I guess I would have to say it's my godfather,
Okay.
Jesus Rodriguez, who was the first one to introduce me to the trumpet, not even knowing how to play the trumpet. I would say that's probably.
I should have had you bring the trumpet, dude.
You know what? I was thinking of bringing my guitar at least, but I was just running like crazy.
No, but I and I've listened to a lot of mariachi music in my day, man, and I always enjoy it. You know what I mean? And so, what kind of kid were you? Were you quiet? Were you wild? Were you focused? Were you lost? What were you, man?
I can't incriminate myself, man. I was a hyperactive kid.
Yeah, I was too, bro.
Bouncing off the walls. Met the chancla a few times.
And for the folks at home that don't know, Hispanic family, chancla means you were getting hit with the shoe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And luckily it was those they felt like a styrofoam sandal that they were multicolored and they didn't hurt much.
But I was going to say, but it made a loud sound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you better pretend like it hurt.
Did you feel pressure early on to help or to grow up faster?
I would say grow up faster.
Yeah, I did too. You know, man, by the time I was 12, I was smarter than my mom. Okay. And it created a lot of rift between us because I would be like, don't do that. You're doing it wrong. You know, but my mom would be like, hey, what the hell you? I'm the parent, you know. But I realize now, man, that dude, growing up like that, dude, it was invaluable, dude, because later on in life, man, I could step into any environment, bro, and thrive. Plus, I was normally I was the only white kid, which is at the time I hated it because, you know, I had to take a lot of resin because I had red hair, like bright red hair and freckles. But you know what that made me do? I fought a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And later on in life, man, when I became a cop, man, I had no fear because I had like, man, we've
been through it all.
Yeah, we've already done this shit, right? So, but there is pressure to grow up quicker when you're having to deal with those type of issues, and so it sounds like you did too.
Oh yeah, I can. Even still to this day, I think it has affected my dad, a lot because.
How old's your old man now?
Oh, he's from 1962, so he's what, 64?
Yeah. Okay.
64 years
Still
old.
pretty young man though.
Yeah. At that age, I was probably 6, 7 years old when he was disabled. So I can honestly say he took it pretty hard, and it would cause a lot of issues between him and my mom.
Oh, got it.
And so I kind of had to grow up a lot more faster and quicker.
How many kids in the house?
At that time, there was just my brother and myself.
Are you the older?
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
I'm the oldest.
Looking back, what do those early struggles give you that comfort never could? Even though we grew up different, bro, there's something. Why do you think we ended up in what we ended up?
Because we want to try to help.
Correct. Right? You became a CO, I became a cop. Same stuff, dude. But there's something when you grow up hard like that, right?
You want to try to make a difference.
You do, bro. And that, you know, in fact, every dude that's sat in that table, in that chair, that's either been a cop or CO, if you get down to brass tacks to everybody, it always comes back to that. Every time, dude. And, you know, a lot of people think we do this for money and we do it for love and we do it for respect. No, dude, if you really want to break it down, and I say this all the time, I was born to be in service of others. You were too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I hate to say it this way, but this is the truth of it. With strength, it can be a gift, but it can be a burden as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Music runs deep in your family.
Very deep.
What did that environment feel like? Were you guys practicing all the time?
Well, this is how it got started. Well, at least how I remember. Our family started a young youth mariachi because my uncles, my dad didn't play music, but we're all the family's musicians. And they started a juvenile mariachi with my cousins. At that time, I still wasn't a part of it. And they needed a trumpet player. So my godfather, Jesus Rodriguez, he came over to the house one day and brought a trumpet and said, "Hey, let's try this out."
Well, here's the thing about the trumpet. It ain't the easiest thing to just pick up and
It's
go.
not.
You can't just do that,
It's
man.
not.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's something you're gonna have to. You have to really work at it,
Yes.
because it's a lot of breath. Plus, you got the three things.
I would always say, "This tastes funny.
Yeah.
I don't like it," and then my lips were hurting.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
But I never played trumpet, but I was a drum guy. So I was in the drum corps, but I would see these guys with the trumpet, man, and dude, you could see the frustration on their face because it's not easy, bro. It's not. And so anybody that can play an instrument, especially a trumpet, because when you're really good at a trumpet, and if you really break down with mariachi music, what can you hear more than anything?
Oh, yeah.
The trumpet.
You mess up and they're going to hear you.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to stand out like a sore thumb.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Well, you know this. That's what separates a good mariachi band from a bad one. When they've got a really good trumpet player and you can hear that, because a lot of those songs, it's heavy, heavy trumpet, right?
Yes.
My first wife, her grandfather was from Zacatecas, Mexico.
Okay.
And so they would always, every time we go somewhere, they would have them play the March of Zacatecas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Da-dum, 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 da-da-da-da-da. But dude, it's hard. I mean, so yeah, I got mad props that you could play it, man.
Thank you. Well, I just pick it up and think I'm playing it, but I'm like, hey, it's not easy sometimes.
No, it's not. Well, plus, it takes years. You're not going to get good in a day. You're not going to get good in a month. This is something probably daily that you're having to work at.
Well, and here's the thing. You're never going to stop learning.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I remember when we were doing a parade one time and we get to the very end, and I remember one of the guys with the trumpet, he hit that little thing and then blew out all the spit out of the bottom, and I was like, dude, that's disgusting. Was that your first time ever picking up? So at 9 years old is when you picked up the trumpet.
9 years old.
What drew you to mariachi specifically?
I was forced.
Okay.
I wasn't, it's not something that I wanted to do.
Did you guys do more mariachi or more banda?
Mariachi.
Mariachi. Okay.
Yes.
What's the difference between mariachi and banda?
Well, mariachi is more, well, I wouldn't say more traditional, but a little bit more classical, I would say.
Yeah. Older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banda's more, yeah.
Upbeat type of thing, and it originally, banda started originally instrumental, and then from there the singing came into it.
What about reggaeton?
Oh man, I better have a few shots of tequila before I start dancing that.
At 9 years old, did you realize how special of a gift that was?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Because whether you realize it or not, bro, that was a gift. It was.
It was. It sure was. Like I said, at that time we were forced. You didn't. Yeah, you weren't. You were being voluntold. I wanted to be outside running, playing basketball, or playing soccer, or doing something else instead of having to practice my trumpet.
Yeah.
Or having rehearsals with my cousins.
Yeah. Yeah. How many people in the band total?
At that time, there was 11 of us.
Okay, that's a pretty good size.
Yes.
'Cause I've seen them like 6, 7, somewhere.
Yes.
Did you have a female in there as well?
Yeah, we had 5 females.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was 5 females, 6 guys,
okay. All right.
ranging from the age of my cousin Juan Angel was 3 years old, and up to Tim. I think he was the oldest between Tim and Edward. I want to say they were 11, maybe 12.
You know what? And I tell you what, you can make a pretty decent living being a mariachi singer. Because I've been at weddings and I've been like, hey, how much you guys pay the mariachi? And they're like, oh, that was $3,000, dude. And you're not there for that long for the $3,000, dude.
No.
I mean,
well, it's not that expensive for the mariachi here unless you're gonna have them for like 6-7 hours. Then it gets a little pricey.
Yeah. We went to talking about Tarabella. We went to a quinceanera in Tarabella. There was 1,000 people there.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they cooked 850 pounds of pig, but they had the mariachi, and then they had banda right after.
And then they probably had another one afterwards.
Yeah, and I was like, and I ended up asking the lady one time, I was like, hey, what'd you guys drop on that quince? And she goes, 30 G's, dude. I was like, man,
I can believe that.
Wow, dude. I mean, it was.
That's the thing about being in a Hispanic or a Mexican family. You send in an RSVP for 2 or 3 guests, they're going to bring in another 5-6 guests along with those.
Yeah. But I mean, dude, it was impressive to watch, though. You know what I mean?
But such a tight knit,
big time
family. That's a good thing.
What did music give you emotionally during those tough times?
Honestly, I
people you could talk to.
Well,
outlet.
I guess it was a sense of relief financially wise and a way to be guided by my uncles, because at that time my dad was his mindset wasn't being disabled at such a young age.
I'm sure depression.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. When did you realize music could take you beyond Tarabella?
I would say probably when I was 11 years old. I started seeing that we started going out to different places. I mean, my family, my parents and I, we always traveled to go visit the uncles down south or up north. But with the mariachi, we started traveling.
Yeah.
What
was the band called? I even forgot to ask that.
It was called Mariachi Infantil Alma de Mexico.
Okay.
When we first started. And then we started getting older and we're like, hey, we don't want to be calling infantil. Infantil is infant.
Okay. Oh, okay. Infant. Okay. Got it.
So we're like.
Because I was getting ready to ask. Yeah. My Spanish is okay, but I'm not fully bilingual. So yeah, right now when you said that, I was like, okay.
Yeah. I'll translate for you. I got you, brother.
But no, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we were kind of, hey, we're not little kids anymore. At least we thought.
Yeah.
But so we're like, can we switch it to juvenil? So then that's when we switched it. Mariachi Juvenil Alma de Mexico.
Okay. Which means?
Juvenile.
Juvenile. Okay. Got it. What was it like traveling the world as a mariachi musician? That must have been cool, dude.
You know what? That actually was. Even from a young age, when we actually started traveling, we were fortunate enough to open up the shows to the best mariachis in the world.
Oh, dude, that's awesome, man.
So we were traveling, not just here in California. We were Mexico, throughout the whole United States.
Did you guys ever leave the United States, overseas?
Just to Mexico with my family's group here.
Got it.
But once I did it professionally, we were all over the world.
Dude, that's awesome. Dude, that's a great story, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Of all the places you've performed, what moment stands out the most?
I would have to say the first concert I had with Mariachi Los Camperos de Naticano, who is considered one of the best mariachis in the world.
Really?
2-time Grammy Award winner.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And you played for those, that was in Mexico?
No, they're based out of LA.
Okay.
They're still, to this day, they're still based out of LA. Naticano, who was the founder, has passed away and left it to Jesus Chuy Guzman, who is now the director and owner of Mariachi Los Camperos.
when they play, how many people are they playing in front of? 20,000?
Yeah, thousands.
Okay. Yeah.
Thousands.
I could see that, man. Well, the fact that you said they're one of the best in the world, I mean, I could only imagine. Yeah. Here's one. What did it feel like playing at the Houston Astrodome for the rodeo, dude? That had to have been cool, dude.
That was actually pretty cool. I want to say I was maybe 12, 13 years old. And we were on a rotating stage. We didn't know. We didn't know it was going to rotate or anything. They announced us. We started playing, and the whole Astrodome just started cheering. And then all of a sudden it started rotating. We're like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? And it was great.
Dude, and you were 12 at the time?
I was about 12 years old.
So think about this, dude. You got to play at one of the world famous places that doesn't exist anymore, dude. That's actually super duper cool. Did music ever feel like an escape, or was it more of a calling? Forced calling?
At first, it was a forced calling, but then from there, I can honestly say I think it saved me, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
because I mean, I could have gone either way, Jay.
Oh yeah,
I could have gone the right way. I could easily gone the bad way.
I don't know if you saw a guy that came in a few episodes. He's from Terabella, dude. You know, I mean, hey, you know, here you're touring the world being a mariachi, and he's doing 14 years in federal prison.
Yeah.
Man. But he's got a great story, and I love how it became redemptive at the end. But
I went to school with him.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Okay. That's cool, man. Dude, small world. Why did you ultimately decide to step away from touring? I'm sure it can get old after a while.
It got very old. Being away from your family, living out of a suitcase. People think that being in a famous mariachi like that it's glamorous. It can be.
Yeah.
But it's so tiring. You're not eating properly. You're staying up late. And if there's no sightseeing, basically, if you're one of those sightseeing. If you ain't playing,
you're trying to sleep, I'm sure. And, you know, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But
there were some times where we're like, okay, we got some downtime. Let's go grab a drink or something. But it was just kind of, let's get some rest whenever you could.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you guys wear like the black uniforms and the black hats?
We had the full blown suit, but different suits. That mariachi had different suits. Mariachi Los Camperos had different suits. They would call and say, hey, we're wearing this suit this weekend, or if we were gone for 3 weeks, a month, hey, we're going to take 3 suits. These are the ones we're taking.
How much money were you guys getting paid?
At that time, I was making pretty well.
Ballpark figure.
I was about $1,800 a show.
Okay.
With Mariachi Los Camperos.
All right. That's good.
No, it's Mariachi Los Camperos. I'm assuming you know Linda Ronstadt.
Yes, she's one of the most famous mariachis in the world.
So I still was fortunate enough to,
because she used to play with them, right?
She used to sing with them.
Yes,
they were contributors to her album that she did with mariachi.
Yeah, because I was going to say, well, I've heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if you've been around this area, you're going to hear them. But yeah, Linda Ronstadt. I mean, her voice is phenomenal. What's so funny about her? You look at her and man, but she could just belt out that mariachi music, man.
That was actually my first concert with Mariachi Los Camperos, backing up Linda Ronstadt.
Wow, dude.
Here in Bakersfield.
Dude, that right there, man. You could write a book just about that, bro.
Yeah.
Was that decision difficult, or did it just feel like you were closing a chapter?
I felt like I was closing a chapter.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can honestly say that I was fortunate enough to be part of one of the best mariachis in the world. So I was like, I can't be any higher.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing too, man, is we all get to that point. Either you're burned out or you just had enough. And, man, at least you recognized it, because I think there's a lot of people that don't, and they stay doing it when their heart's not in it. And this, if you're going to do that and your heart's not in it, it's going to show.
I got to that point once after I stopped touring, because I would still play with my family's mariachi here. And I was still working at the prison. So every Saturday or Friday night or whatever, I'd have my suit in the car, change and play. And I wasn't enjoying it anymore at that time.
And that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah, because if it's not fun and your heart's not in it, then you know what you're doing. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, I took I would say like a 2-year break from playing for the same reason.
Let me tell you about someone who isn't just working in real estate. He's redefining what it means to serve. Chase Taylor is not your typical agent. His journey began in 2005 in the heart of California's Central Valley, where he built his business on a simple but powerful belief. The real estate should be rooted in real value, real effort, and real care for people. Now based in Orange County, he has elevated that vision into something rare, because with Chase, the relationship doesn't end when the papers are signed. While others hand over the keys and disappear, he shows up. Literally. On closing day, he arrives with a moving crew ready to help carry not just boxes, but the weight of transition. That's not just service, that's commitment you can feel. And now he's coming full circle, expanding back into the Central Valley, bringing the same hands-on approach to the very community where it all began. It's more than business, it's a return to roots, a promise to give back with the same grit and heart that built his name. If you're buying or selling, don't settle for someone who simply opens doors. Choose the agent who walks through them with you, who lifts, carries, and moves with purpose. Call Chase Taylor at 949-702-9106 and tell him that Jay Mac sent you. Yeah, good for you, man. Well, I am a master storyteller, and I got a story for you.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back to like 2007, okay? And I was in the gang unit, but now I'm on loan to the Tulare County Sheriff's Office because I'm working a multi-agency gang task force.
Okay.
And we're doing we were doing fugitive apprehension and gang suppression, but we're doing it countywide. So a lot of times, man, I was in Cutler, Rosie, Ivanhoe, Goshen. We go to South County, man, Pixley, Tipton, Early Mart, right? And we'd go all the way down to Delano, man, County Line Road, right? And so, man, we're on Teviston. I mean, you name it, we're there, and we're doing this. And it was an 8-man team, man. And when we showed up to get you, you were gonna get got, and that's just how it was. But anyways, my office butted up to the Tulare County Sheriff's Department SWAT team. Okay, and there I got to know a deputy that when this guy walked into the room, he commanded respect. He didn't ask for it. He just commanded it. The way he carried himself. Pretty serious cat, right? But he just had this quiet confidence about him. And he was lethal, man, because he was trained in the military and now he was on the SWAT team. So, the SWAT team for the sheriff's office, they call it the STEP team. That is the cream of the crop of Tulare County Sheriff's Department. If you're in the STEP team, you are a stud, period, full stop. That's just it, okay? So anyways, finally I transitioned back to patrol, okay? I'd done 4 years in gangs. It was more than enough. I got tired of working every Friday and Saturday night, and I was like, I'm going back to patrol. And so I go back to patrol, and that's when I enrolled myself into my bachelor's program, right? So, but anyways, I'm working day shift one morning, and my boss calls me, and very somber on the phone. Something I immediately could just tell by his voice, something's off, something's not right. And he goes, he's like, I need you to get to the hospital now. And at first I thought, is it one of my family members, right? And I was like, what's going on? He's like, a deputy has been shot. He's in transit by ambulance. I want you to park yourself by the back door of the hospital. Do not let any of the deputies in. Okay. And I was like, Roger that. And this boss was somebody you did not want to fool with this cat. So I, 10-4, told dispatch, show me en route. I headed over there. I pull up, I park. And at this time, there was a pole, and then it had a keypad that you could enter a code, and it would open up that back door. So I'm standing out right there by the keypad. And it was a calm morning. Just there's hardly, Sequoia Delta is always busy, but this morning it was quiet. There wasn't much going on. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden the back parking lot explodes, dude. Deputies in patrol units, deputies in detective vehicles, right? And they jump out and they take off running right towards me. And voices are raised, and I could see it in their eyes. These guys, they
were on a mission.
They were on a mission. I didn't have it in my heart to tell them no. You know what I did? I entered the code, stepped aside, and they all went in, right? Because I was just thinking, I'm not going to be that dude. Okay. So they go in. There's about 8 or 9 of them. Boom. They go in. Next thing, another vehicle pulls into the parking lot. And immediately I recognize it. It's the sitting undersheriff of Tulare County.
Oh, wow.
And he says, Jay, he said, I ain't got time to park this thing. I need to get in there. And I said, hand me your keys, sir. So he hands me his keys. I hit the code, let him go in. I take his car. I park it across the street in the parking structure. Mm-hmm. I go back in, hand him his keys, and I go back out and stand my post, okay? Then this vehicle pulls into the parking lot, slow, very slow, deliberate. And it parks, and the deputy's wife gets out. And before I know it, a lump materializes in my throat, and tears are coming down my face because I knew what she didn't know. He was already gone, okay? But the way she walked into that, I couldn't help but just stare at her as she was doing it. She walked slow, methodical, but there was a way about her that in my mind, I think she already knew. And she walked with just the strength and courage in her that I'll never forget, bro. And she goes in. 5 minutes later, back door of the hospital bust open. And it's a deputy. And he's got tears coming down his face. And you could just see the rage. And you could see the desperation. And you could just see he was just destroyed. And I tried to say something to him, but this is one of those times when words, they don't mean anything, bro. And all I could say was, I'm sorry, brother. And I left it at that because I could just see he was devastated. And each one of these deputies starts coming out the back door. And everyone gave me this look. And the look was this. Thank you, right? Thank you. They didn't have to say the words. Everyone just went like this. And I gave him a nod back because in my defiance, I showed compassion, right? I'll never, ever regret doing that because I got to help those guys. They got to go in. They got to say goodbye to their fallen brother, show the proper respect that he deserved. Anyways, so years later, news of this deputy, his resilience comes out. Years later, or years before this happened, he was in a violent traffic collision in his unit. It rolled. He was ejected, and his injuries were catastrophic. And the doctors told him, "You're never going to be a cop again." He would not accept that, and through sheer just perseverance, strength, and just grit, he rehabilitated himself back to being normal, and he got on the SWAT team, which is, again, one of the most coveted positions there is at the sheriff's office.
Cream of the crop.
And the fact that somebody of his caliber and tenaciousness can be killed by a deranged suspect highlights this. Police officers, every day, we have to give people that little bit of benefit of the doubt, because we can't come at people too hard, right? But in that little bit of a benefit of the doubt, in that little bit of trust, there are a lot of deputies, there are a lot of police officers that are dead because of that benefit of the doubt. That day, he gave that suspect that little bit of a doubt, or that little bit of grace, and it cost him his life. And the saddest part about this whole thing is he was a stud, dude. Top-notch cop. And if it could happen to him, it could happen to anybody. So every year on the anniversary of his death, the sheriff's office always posts this picture of him, or another law enforcement officer will post his picture. And it's him, and he's tall, he's tan, and he just looks, the epitome of what a cop should look like, right? And I'll always remember him as being very squared away. I'll remember him as being courageous, and I will always remember him just being top-notch. And that is the way I will always remember him.
You should.
Yeah. So that's my story. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Sadly, man, I tell a story every episode, but dude, it's like these stories, they all really happened, right? And, I'm sure we're going to get to some of your stories out there, but, I'm sure you got similar stuff, dude. I mean, it's just, it's the nature of the beast.
You can't help it and not get a knot in your throat when you're hearing
dude, 100%, bro. 100%. But for that deputy too, God bless his memory and God bless his family, man. His name was Deputy Kent Hawes. And back to you. All right. Where did your desire for law enforcement or corrections, where did that come from, bro?
An uncle from my mom's side of the family was law enforcement, and I always said, "Oh, I'm gonna be a police officer. I'm gonna be a police officer." Well, I got sidetracked with life and mariachis, started doing that, but it was always in the back of my mind.
Oh yeah.
So when I stepped away from the mariachi, I applied for corrections and I applied for the CHP. And I said, whichever one comes first, I'm doing.
I did. I said the same stuff.
So that's how it started for me.
Just did corrections. They just gave you the start date first. Is that
they gave me my academy date, and while I was in the academy, I received my acceptance from the Highway Patrol. But I was like, I'm already one academy. I don't want to go through another one.
I should strangle you. You should have went Highway Patrol.
I know. I should have. I should have.
What do people misunderstand most about working in corrections?
I'll tell you one thing that really irks me when people, they don't understand and they don't see the concept. And it's okay, that's their opinion. But we are portrayed as overgrown paid babysitters.
Yeah. I've heard that. But you know what, man? You're working in a facility with a bunch of convicted felons, bro. And these guys ain't in there for,
Walking
singing,
grandma across the street.
They're not in there for singing too loud in church, bro. You got gangsters and you got people in there for murder and sex crimes. And, so I know when people, I always hear this and, especially now with all the social media stuff, right? You hear all these politicians, bellowing out how they feel sorry for these people in these correctional facilities. And I'm like, listen, well, I don't, I mean, I've said this on a couple episodes. Dude, they don't have a shoe. You got people that should be on death row that are walking a main line, bro. What are we doing here, man?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's sad because this, the worst of society relies on the indulgence of society.
Correct.
And you got to see those people. And this, and I've dealt with those people. This, when you're talking to these people, some of them, you can see pure evil in their eyes.
They're trying to work you.
100%. And I used to tell people, do not feel sorry for these people. In fact, I think the laws have become far too lenient, bro.
Way too lenient.
Yeah. And, especially, dude, in my mind, if you molest a child, I think you should never get out, ever. One and done.
100% agree.
Just, because that is somebody that is stealing innocence that can never be returned.
Not just that. What are they doing to that poor child
mentally? Big time. And I will tell you this, man, and I've said this before, and so I've had some people, they didn't like it that I said this, but I've told people I'm an expert at this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say this, I'm not up on some soapbox going off half-cocked.
We've seen the reports. We know what happened.
Yeah, but I tell people this. A lot of your homeless people out here, victims of sexual assault.
Of course.
I've seen what sexual assault. I've had to investigate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of child molestation cases, rapes, and you see the devastation, bro. Sometimes there's no going back. And I've literally driven away from houses. And I was hard as a cop. I really was. But I've driven away, dude, bawling my eyes out. There's just people out here that are evil. I don't want them on the street. I've got a 20-year-old daughter. I've got a wife. You've got a wife. I do not want these people out. I do not feel sorry for, if you are a sex offender, I do not want you out here on the streets. If you are a murderer, I do not want you out here on the streets.
You just kind of made me relive incident that happened while I was at the prison.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
I was in a housing unit, and they were transferring an inmate from one building to another. So they were going to move him. A bed move. So I would always like to see who is coming into the building.
Oh, yeah.
Search them.
Yeah. What's your commitment?
Run them up.
Fits? Yep. Yeah.
And I would always tell them, hey, I'm not a super cop, but if you're going to do something that's going to make me do my job, that's not on me. Yeah. That's totally on you.
Yeah.
And when I pulled him up and I read what he was in for and what he did.
Oh, yeah.
I was so infuriated.
Oh, yeah.
And pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
At the guy walking in.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, bro.
And he's walking in strutting like he's got every right and everything coming and deserves everything. And I'm just thinking to myself, Gus, just chill.
Well, you know this. Those guys are not worth me and you get in trouble for. That's what I used to tell people. Man, we would run guys, I'd run them for warrants and it would pop up, on parole, 290 registrant, sex registrant, right? Oh, the minute I heard that, I would be like, oh, you ain't got nothing coming, dude. Oh, dude, it was somebody made up. They made up a bullshit story.
They lied about the rage.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. All I know is you were a convicted sex offender. That's all I need to hear. Now get your ass on down the road. And here's one. and we all live this. What was going through your mind on the first day at the academy? Because everybody kind of goes, I think I messed up. What am I doing here?
I just didn't like.
Were they screaming and yelling?
Yes,
and
that's
that
the only
shit?
thing I didn't like.
Yeah.
I've always been the type of person that if you're gonna get up in my face and you're gonna yell at me, you're gonna.
Well, you know what? The one thing about you, you've always had this. You have a very calm way about you. You're just chilled. You know what I mean? You just have that way about you. You know, every time I've ever talked to you, I mean, you're fun to be around, but it's like you just have this calm way about you, and I could just see that. So somebody screaming and yelling at you, you're probably like, "Hey, man, this is not my jam, dude." You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, but I don't think I'm that calm. I'm actually I was.
You have to work at it.
I have to work at it. I kind of my fuse is very short sometimes, and I just have to know how to calm down.
I used to tell all the crooks out here, and everybody knew. I got hood tendencies, man. So watch out. You know, I used to go up to, there were certain apartment complexes I'd roll up and people go, "Hey man, that's McWilliams. Don't do it." And I'd be like, remember this. I hate all you guys equally. And so if you ever want to get them up, let's get them up. Let's do it. And but you know what, man, is what's sad is I think that's where law enforcement right now is on its ass, bro. Right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you that. And there ain't I don't think there's any coming back. It's been demonized in the media. People don't want to do it. Agencies are begging people to do it. I mean, dude, there's some agencies in this state, bro. They're offering a $25,000, $30,000 signing bonus.
Yes.
Just to get people, bro. That didn't happen back when I started.
Seeing billboards, buses with signs driving by.
Yeah. And I think every organization. I just read an article. I just saw a thing on Stringer. I think it was Porterville, or I think it was Porterville, or it might have been Vice Stringer, either one of them. But dude, San Diego PD, dude, they over the weekend they had zero officers available. People were waiting a day to get an officer, bro, a day. And, you know, for us here in Visalia, I can honestly say one good thing about Visalia PD, I've shown up on calls. Like, dude, I told that story a couple episodes ago where we had a 3-year-old that drowned.
Yes.
Dude. So then my very next call, I roll up and some lady's bike got stolen and she starts yelling and she's like, "Where were you? I've been waiting here for an hour." You know,
she wanted to be top priority.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what I used to do, bro? I should just tell people. You know what I told her? "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I just came from a 3-year-old that drowned in a jacuzzi. But let's do your report." And people will go like this, "Well, you didn't have to say that." And I'm like, it's the truth.
They expect us to be okay with what they say, and they think, and they don't know how much the job really affects you.
Big time, dude. And you know what, man? I can tell you this. I tell a story every episode because I want to highlight the PTSD that I experienced.
Of course.
But I also want to highlight the fact of I got lucky comparatively to a lot of people that come on here. I got lucky, dude, that I didn't get prosecuted, right? I didn't get sued. You know, there's a lot of stuff that could have happened that didn't happen to me. And I consider myself lucky.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of that was making good decisions, but I got lucky, bro.
It's not the same anymore, Jay.
It's not.
I feel sorry for a lot of these new officers that are going into the PD, the sheriff's department, or even corrections, because it's not what it used to be.
No, it's not.
Now there is internal affairs of investigations for the simplest thing that didn't happen.
Big time.
Or an inmate, well, they want to be called incarcerated personnel, but hey, you're still an inmate to me.
Yeah.
Wants to allege that you raped them.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I would tell you something. You know what? I just wrote this this morning on a post. I was just doing some scrolling. I think toxic leadership in law enforcement, corrections, sheriff's office, I don't care who it is. I think toxic leadership has destroyed so many careers. And what it's also done is this. It has made a lot of people not want to go into the job, or it's made people quit far too easy. I used to say back when I started at Vice APD, we used to say this a lot, and there was a lot of truth is we eat our own.
Yes.
Right. And not everybody learns the same. And man, dude, it's just like, I think we lost some good people because we're like, you're not getting it as quick as we want you to. All right, there's the door. Bye.
Well, and you hit the nail right on the head. Higher ups are the ones responsible for it. And not just that, they're just putting the officers' safety and lives in jeopardy because of it.
I'm going to give you a bold statement right now, and people don't like to hear this, but there's truth to it. In my 25 years, I never had a sergeant show me one thing.
You ain't lying. Very few handful of sergeants that I worked with, I would say, hey, all right, cool.
Yeah, because you know this, man. There's no guru of corrections. There's no guru of law enforcement. And I used to say this.
Common sense.
It'd be like this. Hey, bro, you know, we would get yelled at or talked to. And like, there's times I'd be like, show me, right? And it was almost like this. You should know this. Well, come on, dude. We have a 16-week training program, and then you hit the streets. And another thing, a lot of people don't realize this. In law enforcement, the academy teaches you this much of this much that you need to know. And it's tough, man. Here's one. You were part of a transition class. What was that experience like? How shortened was it compared to another class?
At that point, it was shortened a month because it had gone from 4 months to 3 months.
Why'd they do that? They just needed the bodies, I'm sure.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and I'll say this, I've always said it, we're just a number to the state.
Oh,
that's all we are.
Guys used to say this to me. I love law enforcement. And I used to tell them, law enforcement don't love you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, remember this, bro. Or I had guys go like, I'm going to show these people, I'm going to quit. I'd be like, remember this, bro. You quit on a Friday. We replace you on Monday. Mm-hmm. By next Friday, you know what we're saying about you? Hey, man, remember so-and-so that used to work here? It's a fact, bro. So 3-month academy.
3-month academy.
Okay. And you got lucky getting close to home because I know a lot of dudes had to go, you know, I mean, I've had 2 guys come in here from CDC. They both had to go to Salinas, bro.
I got very lucky.
Yeah. Because that's a bummer to have to go uproot your life.
Relocate.
Relocate. How did the academy challenge you mentally and physically? Plus, that's a living academy, man. That's a different ball game.
Yeah. Mentally, I say it challenged me trying to keep my composure, not letting the sergeants get to me when they're yelling at you in your face.
What year were you there at the academy? What year was that?
2014, 15.
Okay.
So, it was and younger sergeants that were yelling at me, and I'm like, man,
yeah.
If you weren't my superior right now, we'd be having an issue.
Sergeant, trying to get in your ass.
and he's nothing but book smart because he still didn't know anything from the prison.
Yeah. Was it demanding?
No, actually,
okay.
physically was okay. I know I don't look like it now because I'm a little overweight, but a little. But I was always pretty active playing soccer or something even.
During that time, you lost your cousin.
Mm-hmm.
How did that affect you? Was he in the band with you?
He played with us. He grew up playing with us when he started.
Yeah.
Wow, that one, I was gonna hit a little.
Yeah.
We were in class, and the sergeant walked in. I'm sorry, the lieutenant. He was the active watch commander. came in. He says, Rodriguez. He goes, grab your stuff, come with me.
I'm surprised there weren't 6 Rodriguez's in
I
that
was
room.
the only one, actually. I was surprised, to be honest with you. And I was like, okay. So I grabbed my stuff. I'm like, am I getting booed from the academy? What did I do?
Yeah.
So I grabbed my stuff and I was just like, what's going on? He goes, I'll talk to you in my office. Okay. So we get to his office and he says, you have a phone call. You need to call home. You have a death in the family. And that's just like that. Just tell me.
So now you're thinking, mom, dad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening. I felt like everything.
I don't know who that lieutenant is, but he did not handle that the right way.
No, not at all. Not at all. And hands me the phone. I call my mom. And I'm like, hey, Fa, what's up? What's going on? She says, your cousin JJ passed away.
How old was he?
He was, maybe 30 years old?
Okay, young.
Yeah, he was young. He was, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just remembered I just dropped to my knees.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? Well, unfortunately, he committed suicide.
Did you ever find out why?
He was kind of going through a rough time,
Yeah.
family-wise,
Yeah. Yeah.
and didn't.
Him and the wife are splitting up, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and alcohol didn't help.
Oh, yeah. You know, man, I lost my sister to suicide, and I always say there's something about suicide to me. I think it makes it sadder than most because for them, living is harder than dying.
Yeah.
And that is the tough part. And the worst part is we have to live with it afterwards. And I've often said this, man. I mean, it took whatever magic my mom had. And, obviously I can tell it affected you.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was in. We were about to go to the range. We were doing gun manipulation training.
Yeah.
When they came and got me. So we were at the range and I had 2 sergeants behind me thinking that I guess I was going to go AWOL or something.
Oh, geez.
I was like, man, you guys are not letting me concentrate by you guys being here.
Yeah. You know what? It's tough because, you have to transition from that and then you have to compartmentalize and now you got to go right back into the academy. And, and the tough part is this. The world keeps spinning.
Yes.
And, but that's heavy duty. That's a heavy duty thing to have to endure while trying to live in a stress environment and all that. That speaks a lot about you being mentally tough to get through that, man. Because I think there would be a lot of people like, I'm done. I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm sure that thought probably popped in your head for 2.2 seconds, and you're like, no, but I'm going to.
No, I and my uncle told me his dad, who was one of the lead guys of starting the mariachi as well. He was like, hey, he would want you to finish.
Oh yeah. He'd want you to be successful and go on and do your stuff. Man.
Stay there.
Yeah.
I was fortunate that they let me go to the services.
Oh, that's cool.
So I will thank them for that.
Yeah. Did you process that grief, or did you just push through it?
Push through it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. I think that's what guys like us do, because you're gonna have a lot of time to think about it down the road, man. But when you're going through it, a lot of times we just put our head down, push through it, and But I think of my sister often, man, and more than I let on. How did that loss change the way you saw life and your career?
At that time, I didn't know how to I want to say process it, because and that was in my from what I know, that was our first family member committing suicide.
Yeah. That's heavy. That's a heavy thing to deal with, man.
And so I didn't know how to process it or how to feel, but even when I got to the prison, at that point, I was like numb to it already. When you had suicides or attempted suicides, but it wasn't easy.
No, hell no, it never will. And you know what? It never is. And I mean, I've had to tell a lot of guys this, and I've had to tell a lot of civilians. You have all the time in the world to kick this thing around 6 ways to Sunday, but right now, we got to do this.
I've always told myself, and I tell this to people that I see that sometimes they're struggling or having a hard time dealing with or coping with things. And I have to tell myself this all the time. God doesn't give you anything you can't handle.
Yeah, I agree.
You might feel the world collapse, and you might feel your shoulders are heavy and that you want to yell, you want to cry, but at the end of the day, I just keep on reminding myself.
It's that old thing. That which does not kill you makes you stronger. Yeah. What was your first day like working inside the prison?
I was like a deer in the headlights.
How many guys you start with? I mean,
from my academy class, there was like 6 of us, 5 or 6 of us that went to SATF.
Got it.
Out of I want to say there was like almost 240.
Wow.
My academy class, there was 240 cadets.
You know what, man? I mean, it's funny about CDC. I don't think a lot of people realize this, how big it is.
It's huge.
So yeah, like 33,000 COs or something like that. It's massive. It's 4 times as big as the Highway Patrol. You know what I mean?
And we're still outnumbered in there.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah, because I mean, in fact, Marco, when he came in here one time, I think he said there was 3,000 inmates or 5,000 inmates or something.
Yeah,
like that.
5,000. SATF is one of the biggest prisons, and we had. When I got there, we were like at 5,000 something.
Yeah, with how many COs? 800,
maybe 1,000.
Yeah. For the folks at home, Marco Uranga, who's been a very big part of my podcast. He brings me on guests. He's just phenomenal. But he's the one that told me, "Hey man, get Gus on, man." And,
good partner of mine.
Oh, dude, good dude.
Yeah.
You spent your career at the substance abuse treatment facility. What made that unique?
I guess I was fortunate to just be at one prison. I've always said that I didn't want to jump around from prison to prison to see what the different thing is, because I guess I'm a creature to habit. I'd like to stay with what I know.
Were you still living in Porterville? Were you commute?
No,
so you were commuting every day? That's a pretty long commute.
It was about a 45, 50-minute drive for me.
Okay.
But I always told myself if I did promote, I was going to try to promote there.
Yeah.
For the same reason. I didn't want to be jumping around.
Yeah. What kind of environment did that create compared to other prisons? Because all those guys are there for drug offenses, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I mean, there's hardcore dudes there too, but they're trying to get them off of drugs. But
substance abuse treatment facility.
But I will tell you this. A lot of those guys, especially when you talk about the methamphetamine, the heroin, that just goes and it permeates gang life, bikers. I mean, there's just this whole list of society of people that cannot operate in life unless they're high. And I would, what I would love? I would love to see the numbers of how often they're successful. I bet you it's a very small number.
And it's I used to love working the yard, being a yard cop or an S&E. search and escort officer, and watching pill call meds.
Oh yeah, man. Everyone's lining up because they need some type of dope.
And they were trying to cheat their meds.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be like, hey, let me see. Open your mouth. Nah. Wiggle your tongue. Stick your tongue out. Lift it up.
They have it way back there. Yeah, because they wanted another dose.
Do me a favor. Take a drink out of your water. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be super cop, but at the same time, I'm like, man, you're getting this to try to help yourself. Now you're trying to get high on this.
I agree. You know, I worked at Wiley for a year, and it was the same stuff there, bro.
Yeah.
We had to push around this pill cart, right? And dude, I mean, when that pill cart came out, I mean, everybody's banging on their door. I need this. I need that. I mean, it was just incessant, dude. And it got old.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one. Tell us about your first major incident in Echo Building number 3.
That was, I want to say, I don't think I was even a week in the department.
Baptism by fire, bro.
And not knowing, I had a call every morning. This is Rodriguez. Where am I working at? And they said, hey, you're Echo Building 3 control booth officer. Okay. Show up. The academy didn't teach me anything about a damn control booth.
And for the folks at home, I can only imagine a control booth is about this big.
Yep.
It's got 50 different buttons on it.
Yep.
And if you don't know, it takes some time to learn it.
Well, not just that. If you don't know, and
especially when a major incident goes down. Now you got time and people screaming and they want it now. And yeah.
And I relieved it was second watch, so from 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I relieved the first watch officer, and he just said, just don't hit this button. And it said gang release. I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
that'll pop all the doors.
All the doors.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I put something over it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that one. And it was just chaotic. They saw a fish cop up there, and they're like,
oh yeah,
we're going to try to run amok. We're going to try to do this. So luckily, I did have some solid cops downstairs. They were like, hey, you need anything, let me know. We'll try to guide you. And I told them, I said, hey, this is my first day up here in the control booth, so I don't know what I'm doing. If you have any questions, let us know. But
see, you got to, in my mind, think about if somebody would have just took 30 minutes and said, hey, Gus, check this out. If this happens, hit these buttons, do this, it would have made it a whole lot easier. But, dude, here's the problem that we do this in law enforcement. You should just know how to do it.
yes.
All right, I got to go. I was supposed to be off at 2:30. I don't got time to show you nothing. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And, dude, but guess what? And then what happens? Think about this. If we don't know proper things, people can get hurt
Or killed.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Didn't some 2 guys or 3 guys jump?
it was a 3-on-1.
Yeah.
It was a 3-on-1, A section, top corner in top tier. Started, I just started hearing sneakers screeching, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
what? And I looked up, and it was right in the corner. And I just remembered yelling to the cops, we got to fight down up on the top tier. They're like, well, hit your alarm. Well, at that time, I didn't know where my alarm was. It should have been on me, but I had my Mini 14 slung and my 40 mic. So I just remembered yelling, get down. And looking, and I'm like, man, I don't have a clear shot. I moved to the other side, ran over to the other side and tried to get him. And I hit one of the guys in the ankle. And
with a
40 mic rubber bullet, but they hurt.
I was going to say that'll get your attention.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
hurt. And the inmate afterwards, officers got there, responded, separated everybody, and then that inmate that I struck on the foot, he goes, "Lucky shot." I'm like, "Well, lucky or not, got you down."
Yeah,
because it had rails, and so it's visibility was very limited.
Well, think about this. I mean, remember back in the day when they had the wooden
The wooden
dolls?
blocks? Yeah.
Hey, man, they would skip those off the deck, dude. That used to really jack people up.
I got to shoot those at the academy. They let us shoot those, and I saw the damage it can make.
Oh, yeah. That fight, was it Southerners on Northerner on Southerners? What was it?
And that was, at that time, Echo Yard was being a, what do you call it? A SNY yard.
Okay.
Okay. So it was retired gang members trying to be gang members again.
Yeah, got it. As the control officer, what did you see and feel in that moment? Because I bet you felt for a quick minute. I bet you felt helpless for a second. Are you bothered by leg veins of any size? Or is leg swelling or pain bugging you or someone you know? I would recommend that you make an appointment with our friends at Sequoia Vein and Wound to take care of it. With a friendly bilingual staff and their years of experience, they are happy to help resolve those issues. Give them a call to get a consult at 559-713-6478 and tell them that Jay Mac sent you.
I didn't know what to do. When it first started, I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay. I started thinking, okay, just relax. There's only so much you can do from up here. If you get a clean shot with the 40 mic, take it. And that kind of helped me throughout my career with keeping that same mentality. Just be consistent.
Yeah.
And when I started working in a housing unit that I had my own housing unit, I would tell them, hey, again, I'm not being super cop, but if I'm walking the tier, if I see curtains up, I'm going to take them down.
Yeah.
If I see you tattooing, I'm going to write you up. If you got Pruno, because that was one thing that I had a knack for smelling Pruno as soon as I walked into the building.
And for folks at home, Pruno is homemade liquor, and it smells like turpentine.
Terrible.
Dude, I mean, the worst smell, dude.
Terrible.
Oh, my gosh. You know what I mean? And it's interesting, if you really think about it, right? These guys come up with some really ingenious things, right? But if they would take that and apply it out here on the streets, a lot of these guys could be successful. But guess what? They don't want to do that. They want to go out there. And I think a lot of these guys, and I think you saw it too, they want to be told when to get up, when to go to lunch, when to go to dinner, when to go to bed, when to shower, when to all that. There's guys that love it.
They don't want responsibility.
They want zero. And well, and that speaks a lot to you, dude, just being a brand new cop and just going, hey, I mean, think about it, dude. You shot a gun at somebody brand new,
yes.
Dude, which is awesome because guess what? I think fear stops a lot of people. And I've seen a lot of brand new cops with Visalia, man, where I've had to pull guys aside and say, listen, bro.
That's going to get you hurt.
I've been like this. Listen, man, you got to do something.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is, but we can't just stand there with big old eyes. And I trained a lot of cops, man, and I'd be like, listen, dude, we can't call the cops because we are the cops, right? So we got to do what we got to do.
I had that sergeant. That was the sergeant for that yard that day. He came up and he goes, "You took that shot?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How long you been in the department?" I said, "This is my first week." He actually gave me props. He was like, "Hey, way to go, man."
I was going to say I think it's a big deal, especially being your first week, right? Because I think a lot of people would have been like, I don't know, should I do that? Should I not? But you know what? If we don't act, especially 3-on-1, how quickly could somebody be dead right now?
People don't understand. We have to hit the ground running.
For sure.
On the streets or in the prison.
Big time. Yeah. There's not a lot of time to second guess.
No.
We've got to go.
Make a decision.
Yeah. Here's one that I think a lot of people don't realize. How fast do situations escalate inside the joint? It's like, hey, two guys can look at each other and it's just on and cracking.
It's just a split of a second that it can just go sideways.
That's it. And even when I worked at Wiley, man, it was the same stuff, dude. I mean, we had those level 5 inmates, and for people at home, level 5 means they're kind of mentally unstable. We can't let them out with everybody else because they want to attack other people. But I'm down there on the floor, and a new control officer hit that level 5 door on accident, right? And the guy comes out, first thing he just tees off on some inmate. So we have to go over there and fight him. And we get him back in the cell. And I'm a little pissed off. So I go back up to the control officer. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, man, I thought I was hitting this other button, but I hit that one on accident. And I'm like, hey, bro, you got to lock in because listen to this. If somebody ends up getting killed, you saying you hit the wrong button is not going to save you. There's too much responsibility here. And we've got to make sure we're doing things the right way. And that's the tough part too, man. It's like, obviously, I know you've seen a lot of COs make poor choices. I've seen a lot of cops make poor choices. But again, man, it's like we have to do, we got to come each day with your head screwed on straight, ready to do the right thing. That's all you can do, really.
Especially, even on the streets. But in the prison, the inmates have nothing but time
to figure it out,
to figure you out, to watch you, and to see how you carry yourself, how you handle business, how you take care of things. I had an inmate. I wasn't a super cop, but one thing that I always did get from the academy, and even with the mariachi, with the mariachi, I was taught never leave your home in your mariachi suit, and if you don't have your bow on, your moño. If you're gonna walk out, you walk out fully dressed. And that stuck with me. And with the prison grooming standards, that was always the thing. Okay. Yeah. So I'm shaving. My boots, I polish them once or twice a week. My uniforms were creased up. If I was wearing my jumpsuit, they were creased up all the way down. My class A's, everything. So there was one time I went in for overtime and I took Charlie Yard. And I would work Charlie Yard. Charlie Yard was level 4 GP. These were the
worst of the worst.
Yes. And so was doing unlocks for getting ready for chow on the food ports. One of the inmates is like, hey, Rod, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. How about you? Good, man. Hey, what's going on with you? What do you mean? Was his wife mad at you or what's going on? Like, what are you talking about? He goes, man, you're always all creased up, all cleaned up. He goes, you look like crap today. Well, I woke up late that day because they called me for overtime. I took it. I didn't have time to iron my uniform. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about working. So they capture everything.
Big time. You know what? And I've proven this 100 times. When I went to work, man, my uniforms, I got my stuff dry cleaned. My stuff was legit.
Crisp, yeah.
My car was clean. I took pride. Dude, we would show up to calls and my partner would look like Joe Shit the Rag Man. They would, hey, dude, they would always attack him. People didn't attack me because guess what? I carried it a certain way, but I looked a certain way. Even think about this.
You look sharp all the time, man.
Yeah. This is me. I like to dress like, and I've had people go, I don't think you should dress like that on your pod. And I go, this is my suit now. This is my uniform now. I take pride in my appearance. I take pride in preparing for this. Like I put my heart and soul in these episodes.
I was actually thinking about coming in a suit too, but I'm like, no, that is Jay's style. But let Jay have that style.
Yeah, but no, you're right. People can realize when you're taking it serious and when you're not. Here's one. What's going through your mind during a 3-on-1 incident like that? I mean, I'm sure you're thinking the one guy, he could be dead quick.
I didn't have book knowledge. I had street smarts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, as long as I don't see any stabbing motions or anything like that, hey, responding officers are going to be here shortly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
How long did it take the cops to get there?
I would say
60 seconds?
less.
Okay.
Less. Plus, I had my 2 floor cops on the bottom, so they got there. They got there right away. But it can't throw you for a loop if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. Here's one that I think a lot of people don't realize. How do you stay calm when chaos hits?
You have to, Jay.
Yeah,
You have to.
yeah.
I remember one of my first incidents on the yard where I saw a mini riot go off. And I was thinking Beaver running out there, and luckily I had a OG next to me. Grab me. Where are you going?
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's all get there at the same time.
yeah,
Don't put yourself in harm's way where now we have to worry about getting you out of there safe.
yeah. Because then what it is, it puts other COs at risk when they're trying to save you.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to tell brand new cops this: breathe,
Yes.
breathe. Okay, because I think a lot of people do. They go, they kind of go into vapor lock, and I'd be like, breathe. Number one, if you don't know what to do, get behind me, follow me, do what I do. Okay. We're not launching the space shuttle out here. We don't got to get that technical, right? But it's just law enforcement. But if we don't do what the right things, then we can end up getting hurt or killed. You know what I mean? You mentioned being assaulted. What does that do to you mentally afterwards? No, were you only attacked by one inmate or multiple, or what was it?
Start off with one.
Okay, and then it escalated into multiple.
Well, no, it just one one time
that one
for my wrist. But I had several incidents where my partners and I we got assaulted.
Yeah. And here's the tough part: does anything even happen to the inmates? Hardly nothing. See, in my mind, if you attack a CO, that should be a big time charge.
Well, yes,
and I think it should add years, because ultimately, in the final analysis of all of it, if you're attacking a CO, that means you're going to attack any other person inside that facility. And I don't know. I just think people should be held accountable.
Well, yeah, they definitely should be held accountable. And whether you think so or not, or the public thinks so or not, they actually kind of police themselves as well. Why? Because they don't want their program.
Oh, yeah. Because if they lock down the yard, a lot of people are pissed off. Yeah, yeah. Do those moments ever leave you, or do they stay with you?
Well, they stay with you.
Oh, yeah.
I started noticing this, and my wife pointed it out, that sometimes I'm kind of like in a dead stare, just, I guess, thinking about things, and I catch myself thinking about it. Or we'll be sitting down somewhere, and you hear an alarm go off from a car, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? Hold on. Relax.
Yeah.
Even at night, sometimes you still hear those alarms going off or replaying incidents. I've had my incident where I injured my hand play thousands of times.
You know what? Me and my wife, we were watching Southland. It's on.
Love that show.
Yeah, I do too. We were watching that, and it's on Netflix, right? And we're watching this, and so if there's a critical incident on there, and there always is, my wife will always be like, "What would you do in this situation?" And believe it or not, oftentimes it's opposite of what they would do, or I would have went a whole lot harder. There's a lot of times I look at their tactics. They're actors, so their tactics are not going to be on point. But we were watching it a couple days ago, and I found myself saying this. I go, I miss it. I miss driving fast. I miss pulling guns. I miss fighting. I miss all that. But bro, I'm 55 years old now. And you know what, man? I had a long 25-year career, and I'm not going to lie, Gus, I'm glad I'm out. But do I miss some of the fun stuff? Yes, and I told my wife, and I always will.
I guess we're adrenaline junkies.
Big
to a
time,
certain
big
point.
time. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I miss that. I don't miss the politics.
No.
I don't miss all the bullshit that came with it. I don't miss missing all the holidays and all
Yes,
that.
I miss some of the coworkers.
Yeah, I miss the people.
the partners.
Yeah. I miss the people. That's a good way to put it. In fact, transition to my next one. How important were your partners in getting you through all those years that you worked at the joint?
Very important.
Big time.
Big time. We still get together, even though I'm not in the department. I mean, I still get together with them and we still talk and we still keep each other in the loop of what's going on. And all they can tell me is, man, just be happy you're.
Yeah. Times have changed and not for the better. This is what's funny, dude. My call sign was 89. Okay.
Wow.
Dude, I got a lady that lives in my complex and she's a cop and I think she's like 439 or 449 or something like that. But I'm out doing my yard, right? And she drives by and I waved. Dude, she looked at me like dirtbag and just kept on driving. She don't even know who I am. And so I say this and this. VPD, we have we have this revolving door.
Yes.
So there's always somebody leaving and always somebody going. I'm sure CDC's the same way because you guys are so massive. But yeah, man, I mean, VPDs, they're getting ready to crack 200 sworn, dude. I mean, that's big for the city of Visalia. What does brotherhood look like in that environment?
Wow. That right there, you have to have some solid brothers in there.
Big time.
Because in a drop of a hat, it can happen where your life is in jeopardy.
Yeah.
And you're either going to fight or flight. And sometimes the majority of the times, you just have to fight.
Yeah.
There's no running away from it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And if you're going to run away from it, then you shouldn't be a part of it.
Yeah. You know what courage is?
Of course.
The courage is, it's not the absence of fear.
No.
It's just, you got to master it and you got to saddle up anyway and go. And, it's like, I used to tell guys, we've had a lot of people that started at Vice APD and then quit in the first 1 to 2 months and go, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm sure you've seen it out there.
It happens.
It's not all fun and games. And this question right here really hits home. Were there moments where you questioned continuing to do the job? Because I used to drive away sometimes. Why did I ever choose this godforsaken business?
I didn't have much time like a lot of these
but
senior
8
officers.
years is a good 11.
10 years, a little 10
10
plus.
years is a good run, bro. It's long enough to say that you did it. You know what I mean?
But I was part of the transition still from how it was done old school.
Yeah.
To the transition to now where it's going. And it's funny because I just ran into somebody that's been a CO for 3-4 years, and out in public, he was just blabbing it out real loud, thinking, and I'm like, and he kept on bragging, I came from Pelican Bay, and I'm thinking to myself, man, this guy, and I already knew this guy doesn't have much time in. I asked him, I said, how much time do you have in the department? 3-4 years. I can't remember what he said. I'm like, listen, man, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. Don't be blabbing that out in public.
Oh, big time.
That's one thing there. Hey, if you
How quickly could somebody hear that's been to the joint, go out to their car, get their pistola or filetto, come back in and get you? It could happen, dude.
Yeah.
And guess what? It has happened.
Yes. Guess what he said though, Jay?
What?
I was trying to be polite to the guy and And he goes, oh, I don't give a F. I'm like, well, check it out, bro. I do. I said, and you're sitting here next to me. I don't need that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't need that.
You know what happens to me? I've only had 2 guys ever confront me off duty. Okay. And it's the weirdest times. Like one time, dude, I was in fucking Red Robin, dude, right? And but anyways, this dude's like, hey man, you remember me? And well, you gotta remember, dude, I arrested 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm an educated man, but I can't remember every
No.
name, dude. And I used to, you know what I used to tell guys? No, man, who the fuck are you? And they'd be like, hey man, you put me in jail, man. And I'm like, bro, I don't even remember you. And I didn't, you know. But I've been getting a lot of love lately because, dude, me and my wife will be in a restaurant. People come up, hey man, we just want to tell you, thank you. You helped me. I get more of that than I get the hate. But I've had 2 people confront me in my career.
Yeah.
And it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not fun.
And here's my problem, dude. I got a face that everybody remembers, dude. So like I don't ever go into restaurants like, hey man, I was a cop, man. I don't say that.
No.
You know what? Because and here's another thing, Gus. I've been retired for 5 years, right? So you know what, man. I'm just a podcaster now and an author. That's all I am, dude. And, you know, I'm not out here, but you're right. And I think here's the problem with corrections, law enforcement. That first 5 years, there's a lot of dudes, they buy into the bullshit. Okay. You know, I mean, there was a CO here in town. He used to call white boys woods, and he would call Hispanic people Chicans. Well, that's what they use in the joint.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that one day. I said, hey, bro, we're in a restaurant. We're at the Double L restaurant having a steak. We're not in the joint, bro. What are you doing? But I think too many dudes get brainwashed by that BS.
Yeah.
You know? Here's one. What kept you going? Was it duty, family, pride, or was it something deeper?
I want to say all of the above.
Yeah. You got to have a little bit. Got to have pride in it. Hey, man.
I took pride. I took
you
pride.
should.
I wasn't a super cop, but I gave them respect. They gave me respect. I just told them straight out, hey, don't disrespect me. I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm just here to do my job. Don't do anything dumb in front of me, because if you do, I'm going to book you for it.
We always used to say this. This is show business. This ain't show friends.
Yes.
And you know what, man? I used to just be like, look, if you want to come at me straight, I'm gonna show you love. I'm gonna treat you straight. But you know what? If you're gonna go sideways, then I'm gonna make it tough on you.
I had it to the point where I had, I guess, the respect of the inmates in the housing unit, that they would come and tell me, hey, Rod, we're going to do a little checking, just giving you a head. I'm like, man, hey, wait till not in here in the housing unit. You guys are going to do something, do it outside, or I don't need that. You guys take care of you guys do that somewhere else, not in here.
Yeah, because you know this. Yeah, if you were to say, yeah, guys, go ahead, and then somebody gets hurt, hey, Rodriguez knew all about it, and he said it was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't need none of that.
I get that. Let's talk about the injury to your hand. Right hand, left hand?
My right hand.
Right hand. How did it happen?
I was working STRH.
What's that?
Short-term restricted housing unit.
Okay.
At the time.
So that's bad boys being bad.
Yeah, locked up.
yeah.
Locked up 24/7. They're coming out of their cells. They're coming in restraints. Was escorting them out to the yard. And I guess I just got too confident to relax with this guy. And he decided he wanted to go off on me. Well, he was restrained, but he was able to push me against the wall. He rammed me with the shoulder against the wall. And I didn't process it at the time. I'm thinking, what's this guy doing?
Stumbled maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck is this guy doing? And then he decides to come at me again. Well, by that time, I'm like, okay, grab him, pick him up, take him down to the ground. Well, when I did that, he landed on top of my hand, and I ended up tearing my ligaments in my wrist.
Yeah. I'm sure that got your attention.
Oh, yeah. Well, at the time, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, because you got the adrenaline. Yeah. But after, when you calm down, I'm sure that
about
was
30,
pain.
40 minutes later, oh, yeah, definitely.
After 3 surgeries, when did it hit you that life was going to change? And that's a hard transition for some.
It was very hard.
Yeah, because you're not going out because you want to. You're going out because you're
forced.
injured and you can no longer do it. And it's a real, I hate to say this, but it's sad because now you've been injured to the point that it's destroyed your career.
It not only destroyed my career, but it affected me for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah.
My mobility in my right wrist is very limited. I still, my pinky and my ring finger still numb. Can't make a full fist. So, I mean, it hurts to do things and it hurts not to do things. So, hey, might as well do it.
No, but you know what? And did you get your medical retirement and all that? Good for you.
Yes, got my medical retirement. Thanks be to God. And you know, it's not much, but, you know, we're good.
Hey, you know what, man? I tell you something, man. Every month when I get my PERS check, I'm like, hey, man, you know what? I mean, I make more in a month than my mom made in a year, bro. And that...
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing. And you know what? But the bigger thing is, you know what it is? It's freedom. It's freedom. If I don't want to do nothing, I don't have to do it. And that feels so good, dude.
Yes.
What was the hardest part about losing strength and mobility? Because that's a big one, especially for men, too.
Oh, man, it was pretty rough, Jay.
You have to go through depression, all that.
Huge depression.
Yeah.
Went through a huge
loss of
depression.
identity. Yeah.
I secluded myself, didn't want to deal with anybody, didn't want to talk to anybody.
Did that affect you and Elvira at that time?
Yes.
Because you guys split up for a while,
split
right?
up for a while.
Yeah.
Yes, we split up. And at that point, I was just like, I don't want to deal with anything.
You know, man, on another note, man, Elvira, she's awesome, man. Sweetheart.
Thank you.
And that, for the folks at home, that's Gus's wife.
For the folks at home that don't know, Jay's wife and my wife, they know each other for quite some time.
Correct. My wife used to brag about Elvira all the time. She's like, man, dude, she came from Mexico. She's a nurse. She hustles. She owns property. I remember when she was telling us about that you guys were going to buy the El Rancho, and they live on a ranch. All right.
Yeah, and she suckered me into that one.
Where's the ranch at?
It's the outskirts of Puerto Monterrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the big one I think will probably hit you. How did it impact your identity? Because here's the problem when we lose our careers. Before you were Gus the CO, now you're Gus. And I've seen it crumble people, dude. I mean, just hit people right where they live and breathe, man.
Yes, it kicked me right in the nerds.
Yeah, no, I got it. I totally believe that.
Dealing with my split up at the time with my wife, dealing with my hand. At that point, I can honestly say I was dealing with a lot of mental issues.
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot, not in my right headspace, but I always kept telling myself what I tell myself all the time. God doesn't give me anything I can't handle.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say because of that, I was able to surpass my depression. My wife and I are back together.
Did you guys actually get divorced?
Had filed for divorce.
Okay.
Filed for divorce, but I guess you can say we reconciled before it became official.
That's cool, man.
So, you know, that was a good blessing.
Was it difficult to accept a medical retirement?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Because we all think, I'm gonna do 30 years, man. And I did 25, bro. And man, I walked out the day I turned 50, bro. My wife picked me up at the PD, and by noon that day, I was a civilian, dude.
And kudos to you, and thanks to God you got to live that. And congratulations on that.
Thank you, brother.
And also congratulations on your podcast, your
Thank
show,
you,
your book.
Thank you, brother.
Very well deserved.
Thank you, brother.
But man, I still to this day, I still say it was, excuse the language, but I'd say it was the bitch way out for me.
Yeah, but you know what though? There was things that happened that were beyond your control, right? And the older you get, I think we realize this. All we really can control is us, bro. Right? And you know this, man. You can do the best you can, but you know what, man? I think you can hold your head high in this. Hey, man, you didn't get fired. You didn't get prosecuted. You didn't get caught smuggling dope into the joint. You got injured. And you got injured bad enough where you had to have 3 surgeries. So, in my opinion, that's not a bitch way. You can hold your head high, bro.
Thank you.
And that right there, there's strength in that because you got to leave with honor. You didn't get to leave because in scandal, right? You left because you got injured. And, man, 3 surgeries, that lets me know that wasn't just some minor stuff. Because if they could have went in and fixed it, they'd have went in and fixed it. But if 3 surgeries can't do it, do you need 6?
It's still not fixed.
Yeah, exactly. And, man, I'm happy you're out of it, bro. Because I just think about it, man. You could have went back, you get assaulted again, and now it's worse.
And that's what the surgeon told me, because I was like, hey, doc, we're good to go back. He literally, I guess he had compassion for me or something.
Yeah.
He sat me down and he goes, Gus, you go back, you get into another altercation like that, your hand is going to be worse.
Yeah, think about this, man. What if your hand went lame and now you only got one hand? You don't need that.
Not just that, I put my partner's life in jeopardy.
Yeah.
If I were to do that.
Yeah, no, man. You can hold your head high, bro. Here's something. I've seen this happen so many times. Did you struggle with purpose after leaving the job?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know what I tell guys? And guys that are getting ready to retire? Find
a hobby?
Find your next thing. You got to find something. Because here's the national average, bro. If you don't, most dudes dead in 3 to 5 years. That's a horrible statistic.
Or suicide.
Big time. I think too many guys start drinking, too much sauce, depression. Next thing you know, suicide or some other destructive behavior. And, that's a real testament to, I think, me and you, is we went and we found our next thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you have to do that, man. But did you struggle during that time? Was it tough to go, what am I going to do now? Or how long did it take from the time you left to start doing real estate?
I would say maybe about 2 years.
Okay, that's
about a year and a half.
Yeah, okay. That's a while. So you had enough time to kind of process it. And obviously you went through some
the
rough
depression
times.
and everything.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Yeah, I get it.
About a year and a half for me to kind of get my head out of my ass and say, all right, it's time to do something.
How did your faith play a role during that transition?
Oh, that's a good one. I question my faith, actually.
Are you Catholic? Or
yeah, Catholic.
Okay.
I question my faith. I question God. I question everything.
Yeah. God, why me? Yeah.
I'm not trying to I'm too young to go through this. Why?
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. But then he doesn't give you anything you can't handle. And I can only control what I can control. Nothing more, nothing less.
You got that right. Here's something. What does by the grace of God mean in your journey?
Wow. The grace of God, to me, in my journey, is the path that he has selected for me.
Yeah.
What it may be, because we don't know what's up ahead for us.
How old are you now, brother?
I'll be 45 in August.
Okay. No, you're right, man. You know, all we can do is try to be the best we can, be a little bit better than you were yesterday, treat people with dignity and respect, and go out there and be a productive citizen.
And enjoy life.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Enjoy it. I mean, my wife and I have been on a kick for like the past year and a half after I had my right kidney removed. Where
I didn't know you had your right kidney removed.
they call me one kidney Gus. Now I'm one kidney Gus now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And hereditary, too much drinking.
No.
What are we talking about?
Luckily, it wasn't the drinking because we can control that. But we just recently found out that it's hereditary.
Okay.
From my mom's side of the family.
Wow.
Little
Okay.
did I know.
And how long ago did that happen?
Had my nephrectomy done March 30th of 24.
Okay. Oh, pretty recent.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel any different? No, can't tell. All right.
Probably a little lighter.
Got it.
One less organ to carry around.
It's a good way to look at it.
Hey.
Well, here's one. How did you end up getting into real estate? How did that happen, bro?
Well, when I was in my funk, I was at Applebee's and I ran into a old high school buddy of mine, and we were just talking. And he does real estate, very successful, and actually holds 2 jobs. He's a manager at the Walmart DC, and he does real estate.
Wow.
So hardworking man. We were sitting down there and talking about the situation, and he goes, "Man, you should get into real estate." And I've had people ask me before, but I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to go through the testing and all that. So he convinced me. He was like, "Just take it, man. It's not going to hurt you if you have your real estate license." So I did it, and I got to thank him for that.
Okay. Are you with a company?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm with Downtown Realty, Sarah
Dude,
Catalina.
That's where Diego was at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Diego
Yeah.
was with us.
Well, that's good, man. Good for you, dude. At first, was it just something to do, or did it become something more?
At first, it was just something to do,
Yeah.
something to keep me busy
Yeah.
and to get me out of my funk.
Yeah. Get you out of the house doing stuff. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
And then from there, it just became, again, helping people, serving people,
Yeah.
getting into that aspect of it.
Good for you, man. I keep hearing Sarah Catalina's name, man.
She's awesome.
I was gonna say a lot of people speak very highly of her.
She is awesome. I call her boss lady.
How does your law enforcement background show up in your business?
I carried myself with a lot of dignity and respect, and that's how I carry myself with the real estate. And I kind of added a little bit more to it, where they say treat others how you want to be treated. I kind of took it a little step further. I want to be treated. I treat my clients like how I want my mom to be treated.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Well, also too, a guy like you, integrity. They can trust you.
I shoot them straight.
Yeah, because and I've said this in other episodes about real estate. We're dealing with a lot of money. And
You're helping them make a big commitment.
big time. You're signing your name on the dotted line for 15 to 30 years, and you want to have somebody that you can trust.
Yes.
Because there are people out here that will take advantage.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's something about your background that would go, that plays very well. Hey, I was a, CO for 10 years. It shows me you have integrity.
Yes.
You have a backbone, What sets you apart as a realtor?
I at first I thought it was a bit cliche, kind of corny, but my buddy that got me into real estate, he was like, dude, when you start advertising in your mariachi suit. Start making like a little reel here and there. So I guess people started seeing that and they're like, hey, you're a mariachi or you're the realtor mariachi or whatnot.
Do you still have an ad with you in the mariachi?
Actually, I just did one on my TikTok and my Instagram and my Facebook here. About a week and a half.
I got to look it up, man. Yeah.
I actually, I was trying to get you on there, but for some reason it wouldn't connect.
Okay. But dude, that's cool. And you know what? I just think I'd love to see guys find their next thing and be successful. I love to see people thrive. I'm one of those people, man. I'm a type A personality. You are too. I'm a go-getter, bro. You are too. And it takes, you got to go find something that you can put your heart and soul. I put my heart and soul into this. You know what I mean? Here's something. And I deal with one realtor here in town. He was on my show. That was Vinny. I don't know if you saw
Breezer,
it. Yeah. And
good guy.
I've bought and sold 4 houses with him. I love him. What does fighting for your clients look like in real terms?
Oh, it's like me being on a three against one. You know, I'm gonna go toe to toe for them. Yeah. I don't like, and unfortunately, there is a lot of people out there that'll take advantage of the situation to make an extra dollar. But hey, at the end of the day, we're here to provide a service for them, and although it's not a big oath like when we get sworn in, but we have to take an oath, and there's a code of ethics.
Well, think about this. If you screw up bad enough, you can lose your license.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's something you are held accountable.
Sir.
And I think too, and I got to believe this, I think people, Spanish speaking only, I bet a lot of people, those people were taken advantage of at times. So if you're out there providing a service for those people, God bless you, man.
Thank you.
You know, what do you enjoy most about helping people buy or sell a home?
Seeing how happy they are when they get those keys.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yes.
I remember the first time I bought my first house, dude, it was 1,000 square foot. It was brand new. And I was proud, dude.
Yeah.
I was proud. Do you see this as your next mission?
Yes.
Okay. How long you planning on doing this? Into old age or?
You know, the reason, and my buddies, they make fun of me, because my real estate buddies, they're like, man, I don't know how you work. You're always on a trip. You're always doing this. I'm like, hey, it seems like I get busy every time I go on a trip. So I'm going to keep going on the trip till So I plan to do it for as long as God lets me.
Yeah. Plus, Vita, she makes a lot of money.
Oh,
Mucho dinero.
She makes a ton of money.
Yes, she does. When you look back at your life, what are you most proud of?
Everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it.
I agree. Yeah.
Even from the struggles.
Yeah. Goes right into my next one. What did struggle teach you that success never could?
Just keep your head up. It doesn't matter how hard you get hit.
I agree, man. I agree. What does resilience mean to you today?
Resilience to me, you surpassed your struggle.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good way to put it, bro. That's a good way to put it. How has your faith shaped the man you've become?
I've always been faithful. I don't go to church often, but I've always been faithful. And that's something that was brought up in my family. So my faith it's got a lot to do with who I am.
Got it. What would you tell the younger version of yourself?
You're going to be okay.
Yeah. I wish I could have run a me, man, when I was young, because there were some years there, bro. I didn't know, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, what do you want your legacy to be?
Wow. You know what? I've never, although I've been in the spotlight, although I've had the recognition, although I've been there, I've never been the type of person that's worried about leaving a legacy.
Got it. Yeah. I've had other people say that. That's a common question to ask my people. Some do, some don't, and I get it. If someone listening is going through a hard time right now, what would you say to them?
Don't be afraid to talk to somebody.
Yeah. I think too many people are afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Pride's one of them 7 deadlies, brother.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. One word that describes who you are today and why.
Wow. I would probably say spontaneous.
Okay. Yeah, you can just pick up and go, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Evita real quick.
Sure.
How did you two meet, and what stood out to you the first time you saw her?
My wife is a very good-looking woman.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And people still to this day don't believe me when I say this. We were neighbors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She lived 3-4 houses down from where we used to live. And we've known each other for years.
Was she born in Mexico?
Yes, she was born in Mexico,
okay.
and she came to the United States at about 20 years old.
And where was she at from Mexico?
She is from, she was born in Durango,
Okay.
Kenivas, Durango, which is a little town up in the Sierras of Durango,
Okay.
but was raised in Culiacan, Sinaloa.
Okay. Sinaloa.
Yep.
Oh.
She's a feisty one.
Yeah. She's a nurse and an
Yes.
esthetician.
Yes.
What do you admire most about her work ethic and drive?
You know what? And it's, you just made me realize that sometimes I don't tell her this, but I am very proud of her, of what she's accomplished and what she's done. Coming to the United States at the age of 20, putting herself through college, actually through school to learn English. And I still make fun of her every once in a while. I'm like, babe, sometimes I don't understand what you're saying to me in English. Just talk to me in Spanish.
Yeah.
And, but she put herself through adult school to learn English. She put herself through college, became a nurse, very successful at it. Esthetician, very successful at it.
Oh, yeah.
She's a hard working woman, that very independent, and she's not afraid to.
I tell you something, before I met her, my wife was like, man, she's like, Vera is just, I mean, my wife's a big fan of your wife's. I mean, she just goes on and on. She works hard. She's a nurse. She's an esthetician. She has an El Rancho. She just, all this stuff, man. And, so when very first time I met her, in fact, she gave me Botox.
She's been trying to get me, but I'm like, no, not yet. I'm good still.
Hey, it hurt worse than I thought. In what ways has she supported you through the hardest seasons of your life?
She's always been there. Elvira is the type of person that she does not like to show her emotions. And that's okay. That's how
I think for her, because she's so hardworking.
Yes.
And
and probably her upbringing's how she was brought up and stuff. So, but she's always been there. We got something that we're trying to work on right now, and she has never said don't do it.
Yeah.
She's 100% supportive on it. And it's not me bragging, but I was nominated for Rising Star of the Year through real estate
good
for
for you, brother.
2026. And we were fortunate to have been the winner.
Oh, good for you,
And
bro.
she was like, I didn't want to go to it because I'm like, I'm not even gonna win. Was not even thinking about that. She was like, hey, let's go. Let's just go and see what happens. So, all right. So she was real supportive, real happy for me. So she is very supportive and is always there, especially on trips.
Oh, that's awesome, man. What kind of strength does she carry that people might not see on the surface?
Oh no, everything. She is the type of person that is not shy. If she's gonna say something, she's gonna say it. And some people might think that that's bad for her. Sometimes I tell her, babe, you just gotta sometimes keep quiet. Don't
Tranquilo.
Yes. But that's who she is.
Yeah. No, I get it. How does she balance compassion and nursing with the precision and artistry of being an esthetician? Because I bet you she has to work at it. I mean, that's both of those careers are.
Well, she's per diem now at the hospital. So she only works one day out of the week. And
so that means she's killing it doing the esthetician stuff.
When we're not on trips, because I mean, like I said, we've been going on trips like crazy lately, and for the same reason, you know what? Let's enjoy it now that we can, not later when we're older and we can't do anything. Plus, I've always said, when I die, we're not taking anything.
Yeah, I agree.
So she balances it very well. She's busy with the esthetician a lot during the week.
Good for her, man. What does her success mean to you as her husband?
Proud of her.
Yeah.
Very proud of her. I probably don't tell her as much, but I am very proud of her.
Yeah. You've been through injuries and career changes. How did she show up for you during those times?
Well, we had split up when
How long were you guys separated?
For a little over a year.
Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah, for a little over a year. And but she would still check up on me, but my pride.
Did she kick you off the old rancho?
Oh yeah, she kicked me out. My pride, pride is killer. I don't need anything. I don't need to hear anything. I'm good. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But she was always still there.
Okay. Well, that's good you guys got back together.
Yes.
What's something about Avita that people would be surprised to learn?
That she actually, still to this day, that people don't realize and believe that she's a nurse.
Yeah. Yeah. When I met her, I mean, obviously my wife had told me, all these great things about her, but it's like, I've only been around you guys a few times and we got to fix that. Yeah.
Anytime you want to come to El Rancho, let us know.
Yeah. That's a real testament to her strength to come here, learn English, and be as successful she is. That's awesome. How has she influenced the man you are today?
Well, sometimes she drives me nuts, but
yeah.
I guess that's part of the relationship. But she influences me and try to better myself all the time.
Yeah.
She's like, don't be satisfied for what you just have.
Yeah.
Try to better yourself. Try to be something more.
When you think about your life together, what are you most grateful for when it comes to her?
Well, I don't have kids of my own.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was blessed to be a part of her kids.
How many kids does she
2.
have? Okay.
2 kids.
How old are they?
They are Oliver, who's the oldest, he's 29. And Aisha, she is 26, 27.
Okay.
And we just had our second grandbaby.
Oh, good for you, man. Congrats, brother.
So thank you. And so that's what I am.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, brother, we're going to transition. Lightning round.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Early mornings or late nights?
Both.
Mariachi or banda?
Mariachi.
Favorite instrument?
Ooh, harp.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I was expecting the trumpet. Okay.
I was forced to do that.
Yeah. Song that always hits your soul.
Paloma Negra.
Okay. One place music took you that you'll never forget.
Wow. Spain.
Okay. Stage or silence?
Stage.
Best meal you've ever had?
I've had plenty, as you can see. Shoot. Wow. You got me on that one. I would probably say Elvira Ceviche.
Okay. Go-to comfort food?
Mole.
Okay. I love mole, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite childhood memory?
Playing with my cousins.
Okay. One word to describe your younger self?
Crazy.
One word to describe yourself today?
Ambitious.
Biggest fear you've overcome?
Wow. Depression.
Okay. Hardest lesson life taught you?
Not to be afraid.
Got it. Most defining moment of your career?
Wow. I would say playing my first concert with Mariachi Los Camperos.
Okay. Adrenaline or calm?
Adrenaline.
Okay. What keeps you grounded?
Family.
Okay. Faith or fear?
Faith.
A Bible verse or quote you live by?
Wow. Well, I would say quote, because I'm always quoting that to myself. God doesn't give you anything you can't handle.
Got it. Someone who inspired you growing up?
My godfather.
Okay. One habit that changed your life?
Patience.
Something people misunderstand about you?
That I'm an asshole. It's the truth, man.
Yeah. Proudest moment as a correctional officer?
My first drug bust.
Okay. Toughest day on the job?
Wow. When my partner got assaulted.
Seriously injured? All that? Yeah.
Yes.
What got you through it?
Him telling me that he was going to be okay.
Got it. Brotherhood or solitude?
Brotherhood.
One thing you'd tell a new correctional officer?
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Biggest challenge after retirement?
Adapting.
What helped you push through your injury?
Faith.
One word for your wife, Elvira?
It's going to be 3 words. I love you.
Got it. Best advice she's ever given you?
Just do it.
Okay.
And with their accent.
Yeah. Favorite thing about her?
Spontaneous.
Got it. Dream vacation spot?
Greece.
Okay. Favorite way to relax?
Traveling.
If you weren't a correctional officer or in real estate, what would you be doing?
Music.
Okay. Legacy or success?
Success.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Being a good person.
One message to someone struggling right now?
Keep your head up. Life is too beautiful not to enjoy it.
Right.
Although we see dark and we're in the dark, just...
Life has a way of humbling us down.
Oh,
you know what I
you ain't
mean?
lying.
Yeah. Final word. What does never give up mean to you?
Never give up means, wow, it means a lot to me because I've never been the type to just give up.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Failure.
Got it. Yeah. I read a quote today. I want to read it to you. A correctional officer stands where few are willing to stand, between chaos and control, between anger and order, carrying the weight of vigilance in a world most will never see. They walk tears, not for recognition, but out of duty, knowing every step requires courage, awareness, and restraint. In the silence between alarms and the tension between locked doors, they become the steady presence others depend on. Tested daily, they learn that strength is not just physical, but mental, emotional, and deeply rooted in discipline. They witness the worst of humanity, yet must respond with professionalism, control, and sometimes compassion. It is a job that demands sacrifice, often without applause, and resilience without pause. And in that unseen world, a correctional officer becomes more than a guard. They become a protector of order and a place where it is hardest to hold. When I read that today, I thought of you.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Well, brother, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, man. I just wanted to tell you, it's been an honor to have you on here. I like you. I liked you from the moment I met you. I wish you and your wife nothing but continued success. You're a good man. She's a good woman. I think we need more people out here like you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep staying on the road you're on, because I think good things are already happening for you, but they're going to continue to. Before we wrap up, is there anything you would like to say?
Thank you. And thank you for having me here. It's been an honor. And congratulations to you on this podcast, the show, your book, your marriage, you and your lovely wife. You guys are more than welcome to come over anytime. And yes, we do need to hang out more often.
Yeah. We should all go to dinner or something.
Say when.
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
And much, much more continued success.
Thank you,
if there's
brother.
anything I can do to help you, I'd be more than happy to.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'll have another guest next week, and I will leave you with my quote I always leave you with. Good luck, God bless, and Godspeed, and see you next week.